Devin King is going to be our next reader up here. Devin is going to come on down here to the microphone where I'm standing. Devin, excellent. Devin, can I ask you one quick question? Do you mind?
Yeah, sure.
And that's not the question. Okay. So it says you're a writer, musician, and teacher in Chicago. Is that true?
Yes.
What kind of teacher are you?
Writing.
Okay. You're not a music teacher?
No.
Where do you teach writing?
At the School of the Arts.
Kick fucking it. School of the Arts Institute. All right.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, for sure.
What's with the duct tape on your hand?
Fuck, no. Okay, so I was here last night. Just real quick. I was here last night. I got off work across the street, and no, I got home this morning. I only had 2 beers here last night. I danced all night long. I sweated. Yes, drink your liquor. And I thought, hey, I hardly even drank. I went home and watched Outlands, the movie with Sean Connery, where he's a cop in a mining community in outer space. And it was totally cool. I just went home, watched the movie until like 4 in the morning. And then I woke up, and my elbow felt like I had hit it on something in steel, and my hand had a cut on it, which was very mild when I woke up. But once you put your hand in your pocket like 5 times with denim, what do you think happens?
It opens up.
It opens up big time. So I finally broke down and put the duct tape on my hand. Devin, I like you, man. I'm ready to hear what you got to say. I'm not going to even make fun of you or do anything. I just want you. Do you want me to put the mic in here, or do you want me to put it in your hand?
I think I'm gonna read like.
Kick ass. I like that. That was very theatrical.
Hi, the first thing, I already took my shot, whatever. The first thing I ever learned about performing was reading Rob Zombie's articles in Guitar Center or Guitar Magazine, and he always said to in with a bang, out with a bang. So this is called Why the Decision on Your Part to Learn to Sing. Takeshi Mitsutani's guitar feedback is a circle built from tangents. Each tangent is the center of a 2-dimensional vector star that moves in vortices outwards, and these stars can never touch except by violence. But the listener holds on to a secret mongrel nature that expects the reverse in his musical substance. To them, Mitsutani's feedback becomes the stock characters of a post-war play or short story, and the blank centers of the costume stars enact a strange form of passive discipline, the irreversible movements of destined emotion. And Aaron, who told me about how he cut his hair, is driving Chicago, filming bands who use corroding tape magazine. My friend Aaron, who works for 260 days and still talks about how when his mother remarried, he became a Rasta with her, or how often I throw myself off of skyscrapers or cliffs. I make foods up, and sometimes they don't taste like anything, just like hitting 12 notes at a time. So, she opened a boat, a ritual vanquished by death. Her fine smile, pseudo territory, parodies teaching in the history of airports. And when she asks me which one I love the best, I tear open my shirt and there's Rosie on my chest. I have in mind objects whose outputs evoked by inputs in turns function as inputs for subsequent states of the object. The final glorious chord of a romantic symphony captured and transformed into a continuous plateau, progressing from a magnetic tape that takes a pseudonym online and says that he was paid to be angry over the origin of Aztec cannibalism. Was it driven to because of a protein deficiency? Rebecca thinks to herself, let me get this right. I gotta hang out deeply with jihadi terrorists and exploit that relation to classify Sam as a gorilla, where they prime as goats which lead directly to the door of truth. One can acquire an addiction to goggles. Take some human action, say a theft, that tick in England's hymning of itself, pure bard of the pure, Parsifal. Sarah projects the lamp, stomps on dust in her thick high heels. Her face is blank, but she's seriously frowning, guys. In her purple socks, her short pants, she pours water into 15 plastic cups and hangs pieces of paper with text that believes the past to be a somewhat or no one can help anyone. For example, if an unqualified generation was being generated at some time, then a thing in unqualified generation was being generated. I'm thrown into prison because I owned a watch. Or how one day he came home. The way he curved his arm, the scar or arrow, light kindles light like the hair of corpses floating in dusky water. Or that Southampton presents itself as a puzzle to us. Bad recording equipment on the East Coast and you want it in a barn. They built my city on top of a grave. WABX and WKNR in Detroit. lines on Friday she'd be there, and on Wednesday not at all, just casually appearing from the clock across the hall. How I left it, which has called me. How I left it, which has called me. We're going to do a song that you've never heard before. One day he came home. To what trials must we submit ourselves to make ourselves capable of understanding you and getting you to speak? The scar or arrow, light kindles light. Her brailed objects which cluttered up the shelf and found packet of wool. Now throughout they both please and displease. Nobody talks peace, Luke. You get a very boring sound, and sounds wander across his scally cap, his stupid fucking Expos hat, and one can imagine a fourth hat. The saying, you're a pitch, magnetic and cumbersome and receding, an object, interpretable, and in relation to another through a third. You, Luke, you're Dino, you're Desi, you're Billy, beautiful sons of the famous singer's letterpress, sense of entitlement, sense of filial worth, working in the sky, a pair of shape of lights, blinds, brightest millions of jet black eyes, 1971 humans, atrophy, or welcome to the camp. I guess you all know why we're here. My name is Tommy, and I became aware this year. If you want to follow me, you've got to play pinball. You're a musician pressing a button on a keyboard to make your sample play over the PA. Sue me, Jack, sue me, sue me, Jack, sue me, Jack, sue me, sue me, Jack, sue me, Jack, sue me, sue me, Jack, sue me, Jack, sue me, sue me, Jack. I'm on the left side. My silhouette can't be touched. You're at peace. You're down peacefully. Actually, if I had my ways, you can leave the village in the morning. I've got a job. Whisper, slow churning. Song overtones plague the listener. The unresolved frequencies eliminating the pulsing electrical current. Tape recording. No more a myth. No more than magnetism. Confused cowboy in Sweden. The blown up picture of the horn player looking at a woman dressed as a cat. I came home to find the lights all burning bright, and I was feeling good inside. A friend had seen me through the night, and you know the things that hits you when you realize you've thrown it far too high. And as I called your name around the place, hello, teenage America. In words, argument, Peter, I've got a job. A drummer asked me to watch his house this week, and maybe the next, and I get to play basho loudly. Venus in Cancer, song for the Queen. Take care of my love. The way to the castle is dark and low. He's off filming in a modernist house in Kentucky. Mike Love is wearing Mary beads and singing nasally. She was the first to ever love me, the first to hold me to her breasts. God bless her, because she is my mother. She'll be the last one I forget. A combination of and the human mind. A reference made in authority in our circles, on our cigarette-sized radios, the mask walking home, 5 a.m. signals turned without cars, August moon, 5 a.m. walking home, though it's too far. We would construct homemade strobe lights by cutting a circle in a round wheel that spun on a fan motor in front of a floodlight. We would mount black lights around the stage and draw designs on our Army surplus jackets and pants with fluorescent paint so we would glow. We would harvest huge sunflowers that grew in the wild behind the church and place them strategically among the equipments and drums. Here there was a with a tree trunk of skin and flesh with an eye on the top. He saw his grandfather descending the stairs. He came upon a burial mound and began to dig. He saw a large radiolarian. He settled for science. That question from the 30s, what is the power of the individual against the voice of a whole people? Thanks.
All right, guys, give it up for Devin. Let's hear it. I liked it. That was great. That was the first poetry of the night. For me to have some technological mimicry in there, that was really nice. It was like he put it through a tape player.